guys, welcome back to my channel. I am NSY. If you're new here, welcome. I guess this is going to be a good video you're going to start on. All of my other ones weren't really that planned. I kind of just chose to do them that day. This time I actually planned something, you guys. I have notes and notes on what I'm going to be talking about today. This is going to be a pretty good series. So yes, you heard me correctly. I'm going to be doing a series on this whole thing. I guess hopefully you can stay tuned. I'm going to be talking about the Burning Sun scandal. This happened a few months back. There hasn't been anything new right now regarding the whole scandal, but I guess I'm going to go down through everything, like the way it started, who's involved. I'm going to have pictures. I'm probably going to have videos in here as well. I'm going to be going through everything. So for those of you that aren't aware about it and want to hear about a whole club scandal that has to do with sexual assault, prostitution, drugs distribution, hidden camera problems, tax evasion, and police corruption, basically. If you want to hear all that kind of stuff, it sounds like a drama, but this is what actually occurred. I hope you enjoy this. Well, maybe you shouldn't enjoy this as much because it angers me. We're not going to go into my opinions. We're basically going to be stating facts. I'm not sure how many video parts there's going to be in this. Let me just go ahead and start. In this scandal, there were many big names involved. I'm going to be putting up pictures around here for those of you that do know who they are. If you don't know who they are and you're just trying to follow the story because it sounds interesting, then I'm going to be posting pretty much the same pictures, give or take, so you see that they're the same people that I'm talking or referring to throughout this whole story. The people who are involved are Seungri. Picture Seungri. Seungri is known mostly because of Big Bang. Big Bang is a Korean boy group, basically, that is managed by YG Entertainment. They are pretty big. They have a high status. They have some really famous songs in Korea. He's one of the members in Big Bang, has a sub-label of YGX, I think that's what it is. He owns a ramen shop, and he was involved with the club Burning Sun. That is mostly what Seungri is known for. So we're gonna continue to the next big person. So basically there's like big people and there's smaller people involved, but big person, next person, Jung Joon. So Jung Joon, picture right here, he is known for the band Drug Restaurant. The Drug Restaurant was formerly known as the JJY band, I believe. He was on Superstar K4, which is where he was pretty much recognized for, I think it was for a song that he did. He was the youngest member of a show, a variety show. It was called 2 Days and 1 Night. Then it was Choi Jong-hun. And this one is from a group called FT Island. So under everybody else, the lesser degree people that were involved are Lee Jung-hyun in CN Blue, another band, Jung Joon, Highlight. Their group was formerly known as Beast. They've also been around for a long time. These are some notes that I have to mention before I jump into everything. This was for sure, an ongoing abuse of power from every side. Basically, this whole thing echoes the secret cams, the spy cams, epidemic that is going on in South Korea. I might do a video on that if you guys want me to. Another note, the President Moon Jae-in himself said, if the truth is not revealed, we cannot say that it is a just society. So even the president himself commented on this whole scandal. Now, the biggest part, a big chunk, like a whole bulk of evidence came from a chat room that was on Kakao Talk. Kakao Talk is a Korean messaging app like Line or WhatsApp. They found all these messages, all this evidence off of Jung Joon's phone. He sent it in to have it fixed. I don't know what was wrong with it, but he sent it in to have it fixed. The technician found them when he was trying to repair his phone. In those chats, the core 8 members was Seungri from Big Bang, Choi from FT Island, Jung Joon from Drug Restaurant, Yoo In-suk, an employee called Mr. Kim, and this first video is going to be about Mr. Kim and his involvement and how this whole thing started. It actually started with Mr. Kim, pretty much. A relative of a girl group member and former YG Entertainment employee and a friend of Jung Joon. Let's get into the timeline. So the timeline that I'm using, I'm taking from Billboard. I didn't just use Billboard, I used Billboard and I used Soompi and a bunch of other sources. So let's get into this. The timeline begins on September 23rd, 2016. Way back, 2016. Sports Seoul reported singer Jung Joon was investigated by police after being accused of secretly filming a sex act. So the charges was filed in August. That was last month of when this came out. The charges were dropped on the 25th after they found out that the person that put in the complaint or sent in the filed papers was his ex-girlfriend. Even though the complaints were withdrawn, the police continued the investigation with the help of her doctor. The name of the woman is never revealed. They specifically said, like, this is a quote, "Sexual assault is a crime indictable without formal complaint." So either way, they were gonna have to do something. So Jung Joon went to the police and explained that the video of him and his ex-girlfriend was a mutual agreement. Like, they both agreed to do it. It was for fun. After he did that, he went to a press conference. At that press conference, he said, "After she submitted the petition, we hope that the incident would end quietly as a personal matter. We were on the point of resolving the issue when words like hidden camera started appearing, and it gave her fear and anxiety." And he also describes the person, his ex-girlfriend, as someone with a promising future, and that she is deeply regretting that she put in that complaint. He hoped that that press conference would stop damages towards him and his ex. After his press conference and all of that happened, his company, C9 Entertainment, released a statement saying that the charges were canceled because it was just a small misunderstanding between the two. The way that they explained it said that it was like a petty argument. Continuing on, September 29th. Production team of 2 Days and One Night, which is the show that Jung Joon is in, the one that I mentioned earlier about why he was known, let out a statement that said his recent scandal caused viewers to be uncomfortable and worrisome. So they said that he was leaving for self-reflection. October 6th, 2016. He was acquitted to the hidden camera case of the police investigation. So basically he was let go, nothing happened, he was fine. Now we get into recent events. Basically what I just went over was something that just needed to be said because people need to know that this happened before. This is 2016. We're gonna jump forward 3 years. January 28th, 2019. This is where the burning sun comes into play. MBC's news desk reported claims that a man known as Mr. Kim, which is later said to be Kim Sang-kyo, is his real name, but we're just going to continue to call him Mr. Kim, was attacked at the Burning Sun. So the club, they revealed a CCTV footage of the attack that took place last year in Gangnam. Before this happened, Mr. Kim posted something online on the community Bobae Dream, basically said that on November 24th at the Burning Sun, a woman who was being sexually harassed grabbed his shoulder and hid behind him, and he asked a security guard for help, but he ended up getting beat up by the security guards and their friends. and he was then arrested and abused by the police. To support his claims, he put up pictures of his beat up face and him being treated at the hospital. According to Mr. Kim, the cops did not attempt to look at the CCTV footage. They did not try to look for Mr. Jung, which was the guy that beat him up. In the documents of the arrest, Mr. Kim was written as the assailant and Mr. Jang, the guy that beat him up, was written as the victim. When the news desk reached out to the club, they said that he was arrested for sexual assault. But when they reached out to the police said that he was arrested because of obstruction of business. Mr. Kim later said, and I'm going to quote this, "The police summoned me due to Mr. Jang's accusations against me for defamation. Don't make me come and go. You come to court. I'm going to report you to the prosecution, so let's make clear who got defamed." During this time though, we have to make a note that Seungri was on staff as the publicity director. That is a lot to take in. But now we move on. On January 29th, a day after, the Burning Sun released a statement following the news of the assault. The management accused of Mr. Kim of attempting to harass women. They also denied that Seungri was at the club at the time. They released a statement that said that police was going to investigate the whole thing. In addition to this, Mr. Kim let out a video online of a woman who was stumbling and being dragged by a man through the hallway of a club. I'm gonna put the video in real quick for you to take a look at it. Mr. Kim described less than 10 days after his incident happened, a woman who was intoxicated by something was being dragged by her hair by a Burning Sun guard down a VIP hall. The woman grabbed the computer, the desk, in a way of like saying, "Help me." You can clearly see it in the video, and they did nothing. It was reported to the police, but the police let it go too, and they deleted the video. Mr. Kim stated that this happens at least twice a day at the Burning Sun, and he also states that the police receives a lot of money from the Burning Sun. He said the police and Burning Sun have an agreement where they do not enter the club under the pretext of it being an obstruction of business. The Burning Sun sent out an explanation for this video. There are additional videos of this day, and they said that this woman, it was a foreign woman, she was from Taiwan, she was unsealing alcohol at the table and secretly drinking it. There had to be actions that had to be taken for her to leave. Basically, they said that the person that began the assault, the person that did the first act of assault, was her against the guard's head. After the Burning Sun guards called the police, a woman guard was in charge. A staff member arrived and translated to her what was going on, and she got mad, she got angry. The woman was arrested. The police received the video of what you just saw, and they received settlement money. So then the case was completely dropped. Around this time, Director Chang also let out a bunch of other CCTV footage saying that Mr. Kim has been assaulting a bunch of women, basically, in the club, saying this is not the first time, and that there were many civil complaints made against him. There had to be something that needed to be done because they could not let it pass anymore. And Mr. Jang also added that people who continuously said that it was Seungri's club, that he's the owner, basically he just stated very clearly that he is not the owner and that he was not there that day, and supposedly he is someone that we don't see that often, basically is what he said at the club. A discussion had been going around due to a picture that the girl group member of Girls' Generation, I think his name is Hyoyeon posted. It's a picture of her with Seungri right after she had a performance at the Burning Sun, and this was around the same days that this happened. So people are speculating if this was a true statement. But regarding that post that she made on social media, no one has put out an official statement that that was the day that Seungri was there, that anything of that, nothing has been said. Okay, so now we move on to January 30th, a day after this other news article came out. A representative of the Burning Sun stated that it was true that Seungri managed the Burning Sun, but that he was not the owner. When the interior design was being made, when they were deciding that they wanted it to be managed in a hotel, they found out that Seungri wanted to manage a club at one point, so they asked him if he wanted to co-manage the club, basically, with the manager that was going to be there. And it was also reported that Seungri had been the director of the club, but he resigned from his position. Like, he resigned from the position like the week before this was released. Now we go back to Mr. Kim. This is also on January 30th. There is CCTV evidence that the police are cleaning up evidence of the assault that was against Mr. Kim. The CCTV footage shows the policeman wiping up blood from the floor with a mop. Mr. Jang, the one that hit him, basically, in the earlier videos that I showed you, had stated that Mr. Kim was not bleeding when he beat him up. And it's very clear in the video he was not bleeding at all. So he was shocked. Himself, he said that he was shocked when the pictures of the police camera pictures, whatever, were released. He was shocked that Mr. Kim had blood on his nose and his chin. And here's a picture of that. So that means that he had to go through something by the time he left the Burning Sun, his arrest, to the time he got to the police place. Like, something had to happen. So according to Mr. Kim, a policeman tripped him. Since he was handcuffed, he fell face first onto the floor. He was then kicked multiple times in the face, and at one point he got kicked so bad that his face kind of got collided with a door, and that's when his nose started bleeding. And when the police said something, the police literally claimed that he fell on his own. Like, literally, that's it. They just said that he fell on his own. And then Mr. Kim claims that he was also beat up in the cop car. And I have video of that too. Mr. Kim was demanding, because he knew that he was right, he demanded the CCTV, the black box footage of the car for you to see that they were beating him up. However, and this is where things start to get interesting. I mean, things were interesting before, but this is where things started getting more interesting. He demanded the footage. However, the footage that was turned in by the police was tampered with. The quality was distorted so much that they couldn't make out anything that was on it. It was also edited, and it had missing parts. When it was taken to court, the court asked the police station for all 4 of the CCTV footage of what happened inside that day. The police station only turned in 1 of those, so that 2 of the cameras were fakes, that they had nothing on them. They were disconnected like years ago during construction that was being made on the police station. And the Secretary of General Human Rights Solidarity or something like that found it hard to believe that a police station that had the state-of-the-art top technology could not update 2 cameras, that their 2 cameras were fake. Like, they could not believe that they left that amount of cameras out for 3 years now. And there are questions that have not been answered regarding this situation. Like, the biggest one, why was his mother, Mr. Kim, why was his mother being dragged out of the police station that day? Why was that? So I guess this is gonna be it for this video. Let me know what your thoughts were on this whole video. Let me know what you found was interesting. What was felt like it was an injustice. What did you think about it? Because I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm not going to bring in my opinions until around the end of all of my videos. I'm going to be creating a series on this, It's going to be ongoing. I'm going to be going into detail, so if you want, you could stick around for my next video, which I'm probably going to be filming or uploading sometime next week. I'm going to get a bunch of information. If you have some added notes that I didn't go over in this video, go ahead and put them in the comments section. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope you like this content. If you do, then let me know. Hit a thumbs up on my video. Subscribe to my channel for more. If you want to see me go over any other type of scandal or any stories or anything, doesn't have to be K-pop, can be anything at all, I will definitely take a look at it. I will be more prepared. I will write things down. I busted out my Harry Styles notebook that I had saved like for years when this campaign came out. I was a big directioner. I'll see you next time. Bye!